draft. Very farm-heavy draft. Beastmaster, TA, Void, all three cores do want to sit back and hit some Ancients, at least for some time. Beast, of course, gets that timing quickly, but he's going to be taking away those stacks from the TA. So we'll see how this happens, because also Stormstormer doesn't usually play this.
Yeah,
so
let's have a look.
Definitely a bit of a change-up coming out from the side of Entity.
Yeah, I mean, kind of overall with the way that Entity's draft ended, did you sort of get the vibe that this was the direction they were going, or do you think they sort of got pushed into this by what Ooredoo did in the later stages of the draft?
I think they got kind of pushed into it, because they just were like, ooh, what do we want to actually do now with versus this Darkseer? We don't want to have this TA safe lane. We're looking for some carry that actually does well in the matchup, in the lane in particular. So Void was probably one of the last few options left. Gives them, of course, great late game scaling, and it actually makes the ET actually looks better than when it was picked. Where it was picked, this was like, ooh, this is a weird ET pick, because it's nothing really that he's countering. Now he has a setup for his splitter, and he actually has potential versus the versus the Tower Blader in a way, if he gets to that point. So there's some positives, there's some negatives. I think a lot of it's going to be done to execution, and I think Ooredoo, like T said right at the end there, I think I agree with him completely. It's their game to lose.
Oh, let's have a look. And look at some of these matchups as well. I mean, as you say, we're getting to see Stormstormer take the TA mid this game. Against the Pango, right? How does this kind of go?
I haven't seen this one too much in the recently, to be honest with you. Used to be kind of like TA would do fine, but I think Pango's just farm, right? Pango's just seem like just a farm always. First wave, sure, it's been hurt because the shield crash changed, but yeah, I feel like he'll just be able to get that farm. And ooh, a D-ward. That's a bit of a, I mean, a lucky one from Kaori. They're actually just blocking the camps. So they put the sentries, as we've seen so much versus the Beastmasters. He actually gets a D-ward with it too. That's a dream.
Ah, that's a little bit of a bonus.
Yeah.
See how the side lane goes. Obviously, with the pick of the Void, I imagine Entity now, they have managed to sort of get away with the lane up top that they could do okay, right, against this Darkseer Clockwork, or does it still kind of get a little difficult?
It still might be a little difficult. You have to just play really well around your time walks. I think if they're able to like double up these waves when you hit especially level 3 on Darkseer and you play off of that, then you can pressure this Void, but we'll see if Entity's able to withstand that pressure.
We'll see how well the Terrorblade can deal with the pressure down bottom. Actually, once a couple of levels are in for the Rubik Beastmaster, it will be a lot of spam.
Sure will. I'm looking at how much regen they've got prepared. Okay, they've got a lot. Kaori's got 5 tangos to go defeat over TA 2000. So they know what they're going to be playing versus in that matchup. And yeah, it looks like at the moment, yeah, TA. I mean, TA should be able to get most of these last hits versus Noob. You actually just go meld and hit him. So you put him at like almost 0 armor. But same thing said for Noob. Doing decent. No one really being left behind in the first 2 waves.
Yeah, you imagine it should be. Is it easy? Is it going to be easy enough for Entity to sort of get that triangle set up? I mean, will they? Do you imagine they will catch wind of the fact that that camp's blocked pretty early?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're probably going to see Toby just get the boar at level 2 and send it back and start stacking Ancients. I would honestly want to see Kaori maybe even. I'm looking at the couriers if they'll bring anything else. Or no, they just brought regen, but I wouldn't even mind if he brings another sentry down bottom and goes and blocks those Ancients ASAP on this silencer.
That could definitely be worth it.
Yeah.
At least, you know, at the least make them expend a couple of sentries themselves to be able to take back control of that whole triangle.
It's everyone is just, that's what everybody now is just really, you have to do versus these Beastmasters. Because yeah, the lane sometimes maybe can be a little bit rough for them, even though they go the Axe build. You have to shut down his bottom. They're getting aggro. Toby. He's got a lot of stick charges. Should be okay.
Still a fair bit of damage though on that first bit of a go with the Metamorphosis.
Oh, he took inner, I mean, you almost never really want to do this, I would say, when you're playing the Beast versus TB. He skilled the inner Beast, so you just give free 10 attack speed to TB in lane. Okay. Sometimes you see people hold skill point, or they just auto-skill boar and send it to start stacking.
Well, that's the, yeah, you're not going to have the boar to stack as maybe early as you would have wanted to right now.
And Katomi now, he might die. He's got one, and Fairy.
It's going to be close.
One more hit. Can't get it. I'm surprised he put the aura. Yeah, I'm surprised he put that point in it. Not the biggest of deals, of course. It's only 10 attack speed, but still, you know, just little things to point out.
Yeah, something, as you say, that TS2000 can use to his benefit with that reflection.
Yep. Up top, so far the Void doing very well. Watson 12 and 6, so he is able to withstand that pressure. Most of the pressure will come when the 3s do come out for these two on the Darkseer and the Clockwork. But so far, pretty damn good for Watson. I think I'm very happy. And mid's actually even, so okay. I didn't see this matchup too much recently, so I thought perhaps it could still be the times of the past where TA is able to do very well, but Pango's farms.
Trying to run down Omar there, but I won't continue to chase. He's got the Iron Shell on him. So
Kaori bottom.
Don't want to mess with him anymore.
Could be in trouble on the silencer.
the stick charges. TO2000 with the reflection, trying to hold them back a little bit. I don't think he'd allow enough time here for that silence to get back to safety. As again, I mean, consistently, really, Toby and Katomi, they're being kept pretty low on this bottom lane.
This is a scary position to be. 50 seconds till meta. Kaori, as we said, brought tons of regen. He'll actually get a half pull-off also on the silencer, so lane position's going to get reset for the side of Ooredoo, and they could get aggressive again in a few moments. Pretty even across the board, though. 17-1 Darks here, 31 Beast. The carries are about dead even, mid's dead even, so hype. Very nice stuff. Is anyone going to help check any runes now is going to be the questions. And Stormstormer, he's got bottle, so does Noob. We're seeing Kaori already move toward bottom, and Noob, he's moving toward top. So they will be able to fill up the bottle and deny a rune from Stormstormer.
Yeah, there wasn't any sort of movement from Entity supports to try and get there at the same time. What we had a bit of focus on the stacks being made here by Fishman, as he's starting to get their own jungle stacked up.
Gotta be careful versus Omar.
And it's hard to mess with him with the Battery Assault and the Iron Shell on him.
Fishman!
He can trade back pretty nicely, and indeed Fishman stepping down into the river.
Oh?
Oh? I mean, okay, he's going to be able to...
He's going to be able to get away.
I think he's going to be fine.
Yep, and bottom.
It's actually going to be Entity that get the first blood. They take out Kaori. I mean, in return, TO2000 will be able to take down Toby, but they sort of missed out on the opportunity to kill him top, didn't they?
I feel like they did.
One more right click?
I mean, yeah, just a slight little mess up there, but yeah, Fishman, I mean, he lives and he's back to full. And I'm glad you pointed out the stacks. I think it's really important that you're utilizing multiple stacks rather than just focusing around triangle, the thing that ET does thrive around being able to do. And then the TA has that extra bit of spacing to be able to get extra farm. Watson could be in trouble here. They glyph the wave.
They could dive in with the surge.
Yeah.
He should definitely be dead here. Time Walk already used. Maybe if he got some sort of quadruple bash proc there onto Omar, he would have had a chance, but not to be had. Same time, over in the mid lane, Stormstormer, he's going to get outplayed here by Noob.
TP comes in from Kaori, fills up the bottle, and he's going to reblock the triangle camps too. This was a really cool move that they did. They used the glyph in both waves. They dove mid with glyph, and they dove top with glyph with that double ion shell play, so really cool stuff. And instead of blocking Ancients, they're going to put a ward to contest it, and that's actually pretty important with how good of a start Noob has. Noob can definitely get into this triangle and contest.
No, that's smart as well, I guess, because it's more likely that Entity check for sort of warding around the Ancient side rather on that spot that's kind of overlooking it.
Yeah.
So likely to get some, indeed, some good information out of this warding.
Sentry battle. Kaori goes for the deny. That doesn't do anything. I love when I see people do that.
Yeah, it sends a message.
Yeah. Ooredoo with a nice start. Power rune, 6 minutes. 6 heroes checking around. Fishman again.
Easy DD. Denied. He should die for this one, Corey.
Trade.
But yeah, trading his life to make sure the Stormstormer doesn't get to bottle up a DD.
Having some very similar movements coming up from both sides. This is really hype for the moment. I love it. Darkseer having a very good start, though. Sometimes you do see these Darkseers, they can struggle inside laning phase. It's very important that he gets this type of start, though. He's pretty much level 5. So level 3 Ion Shell, this is going to start putting pressure onto Watson. Same thing for Fishman. Fishman has to be very careful how he steps up. I mean,
what level's the time walk at this stage? Just the level 2, so still a very long cooldown.
Yeah, and they'll get the scan. So yeah, level 3 Ion Shell, level 2 Battery Assault, and he's got Tranquil Boots. While we saw Fishman, he only has Windlace, so easily can get run down. So the pressure on Watson is going to start accumulating here. And TA2000, he's got a freebie. He's got free stuff down bottom.
They can go for Watson now.
Sure can.
They're getting under the tower with the surge and the cogs. I think he's
looking dead.
He's very, very dead. Yeah, is indeed just still in a very vulnerable state of the game, the Void, at this point, when Time Walk's still sitting at, say, about 18-second cooldown at just level 2.
And bottom, they've got meta.
Lose Kaori, but if he gets some gold for TA2000, he'll be happy. Toby's able to go for the TP out. Nothing to stop that in time. Top lane, the aggression continues here from Omar and Wuta, but Fishman will be able to turn and shut it down.
Look at bottom right now. Noob actually is staying. Toby TP to tier 2. So while this is happening, they're actually still setting up. The Hawk, it's going to scout him, but they're going in.
There, they can get into the tree line. Yeah, but Noob, he's going to end up turning the wrong way. Probably a good idea that he does, because mass TPs are coming in, so they won't be able to get away with threatening the Toby Beastmaster's life another time.
Good awareness from Toby. I mean, it was a bit of a scary TP situation, and with that ward being placed behind, was very aggressive from Ooredoo, but he reads the play. Power rune. It'll be up top, a haste rune. They're setting up this Terrorblade, though, for some Beautiful success. He's level 7. The Void only level 5, as we saw. And they just keep running at these heroes up top.
Yeah, I mean, other than sort of that opportunity where Fishman was able to turn and take down Omar, other than that, it's going to be very difficult for those two heroes to fight top. Backup of Stormstormer. Good things could happen here for Entity. That Haste Rune chasing down Wuxa. The Darkseer doesn't stand a chance. He's still got a bit of time left on this Haste Rune. Tries to close it onto Omar, but the cogs are back up. Go for some Sideblade hits off the cogs, but won't be enough.
Like I was trying to be active on this TA a bit. Since he knows his lineup is very farm heavy, I think he's trying to make these moves happen with his bottle a little bit more. And now he's got stacks to go back to, as we mentioned from Fishman earlier. He's got some juicy ones. And they fill up his bottle. All in all, pretty good from the side of Entity. Ooredoo slightly ahead inside that laning phase since the Terrorblade's having free farm, but this is a big move. Noob, he saw this TA make the move toward top. He's bought Treads, something you do not see on Pango too often. Treads Corrosion. Really trying to take advantage of those extra right clicks he's going to build to, and it gets him a tower. A 9-minute mid-tower as a Pango versus TA.
Yeah, that's
whoa.
A very quick one. We're going to see here in the jungle. Omar and Wuxa, they've got him for Stormstormer. They've dropped down the wall. They've got him. Nothing that Katsuomi and Fishman could do to save him. We'll see if Watson can get some kills in return with the Chrono up. Ooh, disarm. It's there, Noob. He's going to be able to buy time for Wuxa and Omar to live a little longer, and Watson has to time walk back underneath the tier 2. He can't continue to try and fight this.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, that's a bit of a weird pause. What's going on there? Oh, okay.
Oh, someone DC'd.
Lag. Okay, clock
lag.
that. Okay.
Okay.
But, yeah, if that pause happens in a pub game, that's you know it's trying to tilt the Void. Because, yeah, unfortunately, they're not the situation you want to be in there. We use your first Chrono. You don't give it the kills because of the Pango and its pesky disarm.
Beautiful. I mean, Noob's skill build. It's the skill build. It's his rotations. Really nice stuff from Noob this game so far. Killing spree for him. Clean rotation. And now they can take some stacks. Ooredoo.
Yep.
Really like the aggression that they're putting on. And they're even going to take bottom tower probably here. And this, I mean, taking mid tower, taking bottom tower, they have a ward around Ancients. They have access into this triangle now, perhaps. I think Entity has to go farm their stacks almost immediately right now. Or they could actually lose them in these next few moments. Very good aggression.
Speeding it up a bit now, Ooredoo, because they know that they can. It's indeed going to be harder for Entity to match.
To deny, nicely done. And yeah, they bring 4 heroes bottom. They're like, guys, we gotta farm our stacks. Can't let them walk in, but Ooredoo's thinking about it.
They know there's no threat of the Chronosphere, so
and
they
Noob
feel safe entering into this area.
Noob has an Arcane Rune too, so the potential of the spam from these swashbuckles.
Yeah, sure. 20 seconds until Rolling Thunder's up. Omar's going to start things off. Straight in on top of Stormstormer.
The disarm again.
Swashbuckle hit as well, indeed. Stormstormer, he gets taken out, and Omar's still alive. Fishman will attempt to run Omar down, and a final punch takes him out as Entity in return claim the lives of the 2 supports. But yeah, Stormstormer going down once again. More money for Noob as the Pangolier continues to be quite the nuisance for Entity.
Absolutely, and the supports are just, they don't care on the side of Ooredoo. They're just giving their lives. It's 4 deaths for Kaori, but honestly, they feel pretty worth it every single time that he has gone down.
He's straight up to the top lane. Wants to see if they can try and, you know, at least bully the Void out of this area. They're going to pop the Global Silence. They get him with the Rolling Thunder, and that'll do it. Clean moves here as Noob. Mega kill streak. He keeps it going here, 5-0-0. And another tower that he's going to play his part in taking down here. Nice and early, 11 minutes in.
The pacing is excellent. Witcher already has a mech now too, so just playing super fast on the map. And Noob is going a really interesting build. I've never seen this before on a Pango. He's got Halberd. Okay, she changed it. I was going to say, the Halberd is kind of weird.
That would be kind of new. Yeah, I've not seen a Halberd rush on Pango.
I like the Treads. I like the Corrosion. I would not have liked the Halberd.
Sure.
I think you need to go Diffusal.
To be fair as well, yeah, because with the procs that he's getting on his disarms, he doesn't need an active disarm. He's getting the disarms anyway.
If he wants to go like the Halberd, get it after Diffusal.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I still wouldn't really prefer it,
it's
but
still
whatever.
a great item against the TA.
Yes.
It's that range carry, range core. Bottom lane, they'll drop the roll for this one.
They're taking some time to kill him, though.
Gonna be able to get his spells off. Well, at least one of them. In fact, the 2, and then with the reflection, that's the setup for TN2000 to start chasing down the Rubik.
Omar?
The side, they'll lose Omar here at the splitter of Fishman. And Katsuomi will manage to get away from the illusions. So, again, just the 2 supports going down, but this time probably cost Ooredoo Thunders their tier 1 tower as Entity able to get the push going.
I mean, they really don't care about their support, like sacking their supports. They have 8 of the deaths. It's actually pretty crazy. 8 of the 9 at the moment. But yeah, it does mean Entity, they'll be able to get this tower. And Another pause coming in, and Noob, he's found a juicy stack. Look at this, it's a triple stack, and he's got a DD defusal.
I see Stormer heading over, but honestly, I don't know if you want to mess with this Pango.
No.
It's by the tier 2, so potential backup could come in if they want to do something about Noob taking what he's being able to take from Entity's side of the map.
Scary place for Stormstormer to walk in, though. He doesn't know exactly where the Darkseer is either, so Wheater could just walk over, get that Ion Shell, and they can just run him down. So has to be careful. Stormstormer, you can see that he's taken a bit of a back foot on just being like the carry as the TA in the mid lane. He knows that he needs to be a little more active with the way that this early game is going down. He's got a Void in his lineup too, so he prioritizes the Blink this game. Does mean he's vulnerable, and does mean his damage is going to be a bit lackluster if they do just full commit onto him. Because sometimes, you know, you could see like the Clockwork hook shots, and if he does have like a Deso, usually 2-shot this clock. But with a Blink, if they get on him, he's very likely to just die, and they have a lot of different ways to initiate these fights on Ooredoo. Really, I mean, really beautiful aggression, though. Loving the way that they're playing so far. All 3 towers taken early, contesting stacks. He's really shutting down this Void in particular. Void what? He's level 7, and the Terrorblade is level 10. Pretty big difference at the moment.
Stormer. No, that someone was around here.
They both get the plan now, right? Because the pause a little bit, so they're calling the Darkseer over, while Fishman's also now TP'd over as this ET.
And Noob, of course, will still want to try and snipe some of these creeps. He gets a couple of them.
It's a few. Has there been any stacks on the side of Ooredoo? I mean, they weren't focusing on stacks at all, so nope, no stacks for this Terrorblade. They were much more focused on just putting pressure on the map. But yeah, he does okay. Yeah, he's going Blink Halberd. Could be cool.
It's super strong against, say, what the TA.
He's going to be tanky. He's going to be super tanky with Treads as well, too.
You get him in that chrono, you're not guaranteed killing him, especially if you've got like a shield crash off beforehand.
Yeah, it could be a really cool build. They're grouping up. Ooredoo. It's for that, like, they have to be the ones to set the pace. They want to be the ones putting the pressure on the map. They don't want Entity to just sit back, farming with their greedy cores. So we're looking for these plays. They've got the global, they've got the hook shot. And they'll find Fishman.
They go him up. The one for Noob. Not the kind of lad who wants to get any assists this game. It's kills or nothing here for Noob.
And they're the ones actually going for the Roche already. So denying this away from Entities. And Entity, very difficult for them to really contest here.
I mean,
I don't think they can.
Have Chrono, but they just, especially without the Elder Titan, you know, just having sort of the potentially the Earth Split is kind of important if they want to blow someone up in the Chronosphere. It's not there, so they're not going to head over. And the Noob is going to have the Aegis. I
like that they give it to Noob as well, instead of giving it to the TB. Noob's going to play super aggressive. TB is just going to farm, so yeah, very fast stuff coming out from Ooredoo.
Yeah, but that's going to take some good chronos from Watson this game.
Their damage is...
be able to turn this one because Ooredoo, whilst it is just that 1k gold lead, it's the fact that they do have that lead at this point.
Yes.
Having the Aegis as well, it doesn't feel good for, you know, for how Entity want to prolong this game.
Yeah, and for Watson, it's just not really the easiest game for the Void playing versus this global early. It's going to take them a long time of itemization to be able to deal with that if they just get the jump. And they, as we've said, they have the jump. They have the ways to disrupt Chrono too, as Ooredoo. On high ground. Fishman. Oh.
Oh.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Crashes now.
Okay.
All right, maybe something's going on with Omar because they said Clockwork
yeah,
DC before, and now he's crashed again, so...
It's unfortunate. And, well, this, of course, will give teams to consider their next move. And I imagine that move will probably be for what Entity to just try and get everyone away from this, right? Unless Watson can come in for a Chrono, because he is smoked up at the side. Do you think they will try and look to get the Void in and go for a Chrono on this opportunity? Or do you want to run?
I mean, it's a bit scary because honestly, I think Ooredoo was already... I think they were trying to initiate like 1.5 seconds ago because they already had everything prepped on the Ion Shells, and this Clockwork's... He sees this Templar right in front of him. It's a haste on the TA, but there's always going to be this global that comes out and stops any type of aggression if they don't catch the Silencer.
Yeah. Now, let's see. Is it going to be a case of running or chronoing?
Could be a risk. There's a mech, remember, on Wheater, so he's going to be able to counter quite a bit of the damage. I mean, Entity's draft just is very damage lackluster in the early game until they've got more items. This could be a scary moment for them. And Toby, I mean, Toby's got TP. Maybe they're like, okay, Toby, you might have to TP mid if they do make an aggressive move. Let's see how it goes down.
They're going to back up themselves. I mean, Omar considered going with the hook shot, but at that point under the tier 2. And of course, things will always get a little bit weird after a pause.
Yep.
Like they're going to have time to discuss the fact that we're about to go on them, so let's not try and force it.
No need to force it to that area when they already force so many TPs and movements. So back up, get the farm, push out the lanes. How's Toby doing? He almost has the Helm of the Overlord. So I think one of the better games for Toby so far in quite some time. And there's the blink now for Noob. So more aggression that he can set as this Pango. So much initiation. Clockwork hookshot, Pango jumping in with the global. There's a lot of potential for if Watson steps out of position in almost any situation when global's up, they could just kill this Void. Even swinging over TA 2000. He's got meta in 20 seconds. They might go for this here. Watson.
Oh, it's a good angle on the hook shot. Very nicely lined up there by Omar. Gets right in onto him, past the creeps and under the tower.
And the TP's here. So he's got meta. Yeah, 8 seconds. They can probably look for this tier 2. A great aggressive move. It's, like we said, it's not an easy game for Watson.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And T still just sort of scrambling to find what they can elsewhere on the map, not wanting to respond to these sort of pushes from Ooredoo right now. They know how strong Ooredoo is. At this state of the game, this is tier 2 gone. Stormer at least will be able to finally clear up the tier 1 in the mid. Still able to find something, and that will be his Desolated done.
I mean, he's still farming okay, but look at this Void's farm. I mean, Watson is 6,200 net worth. It's a 9,000 net worth Terrorblade, 96 Pango. Get the stomp on Kaori. Do they want to commit here, though? This is a bit of a risky one.
The split up. We'll catch on to Noob. Not enough damage to take him down. Omar's already trying to block off the escape. Hookshot's back up. He's in onto Katsuomi.
Very over-aggressive coming out from Entity. They didn't have to use meta to get that push top, so TA 2000, he's still got it ready if there's a fight that comes to this TB, too. He's farming super well, as we've said multiple times.
Yeah, and he's happy to look for the fight, but he's also happy to just get his next item.
Absolutely.
He knows that they're sort of in control of this game right now.
And Watson just so low. And yeah, he's got his Maelstrom, he's got his Mask of Madness, so he's got his fighting and, fighting items and stuff like that, but his survivability is so low. Even when he's got BKB, he has to be careful how he does pop it. So if it's, Global comes out right afterwards, they'll have the counter. And I mean, that's still way later down the line since Ooredoo. Still looking to set pace, still looking to play super aggressive.
Oh,
Fishman.
They'll get him. Battery Assault from Omar puts a stop to the TP.
They're just playing super fast. Stormer shows himself up top for a second. They're already pinging him. They want this TA, perhaps.
He's getting out.
He's got to get
he
out.
He knows that this is not a safe spot to be anymore.
Taking the whole jungle now at this point. Multiple towers. And now looks like we're getting some of these neutral items also. Some pretty good ones. Dragon Scale, pretty nice. Philosopher's Stone as well for the team that's already leading. And yeah, Watson just still full recovery mode. TA still farming. They just don't have fighting items, really. The only one who's got fighting items at the moment is Toby. The other two, very risky for them to really get involved into much. Stormer, Deso, Blink, Shard. Cool that he's gone for the Shard this game. That could maybe catch them off guard on the side of Ooredoo. All having to hug each other at the moment.
They want to try and fight. They know that the Aegis is about to expire. So this would be the time to try and jump Ooredoo. So if Entity can catch them by surprise.
The Halberd, or the Sanj is already coming out for this Pango. He's super tanky. This is really going to be a cool build. There's definitely situations when he's got Halberd, if he gets chronoed, he might just straight up survive.
No, absolutely. Just being able to live and kind of get a few rounds of his spells off, it's going to be more than enough because he knows that damage, it's there from his Terrorblade, right? So yeah. He just has to live in front line for his TB, and this is the sort of item build that's going to allow him to do so. That Halberd.
And damage is still going to be a bit lackluster. Entities, it takes time for them to have damage with these 3 greedy cores. It comes from that itemization. So he's going to be very strong, and they're getting us around here. Fishman, hello.
Should be a pretty easy one to start the fight off. Fishman will lay down the Earth Splitter. Omar will go deep with the hook shot. Over towards catching more members of Entity as they have to start trying to split from this. The buyback will come out from Fishman. Chrono's there. It does mean that Rubik's sort of stuck in a bit of a tricky position. Watson with the Chrono will manage to take down the clock.
Do they have
Noob?
They got him.
And the follow-up silence means there's no chance for Noob to slide away. They get both of the kills out of this. They do end up having to use both buybacks, though.
They do.
From their two supports. So something for Entity, but definitely not without a cost.
No. Finally getting the Pango. Honestly, he almost survives. The fact that the trap, I honestly, like I was saying, I like that Stormer went for the shard. I think that was perfect. I think he might be able to slide away otherwise.
I think he would have been able to get a couple of spells off, indeed.
It was also a meta forced, so TA2000 did walk in with meta. Wasn't able to find much of anything either, but meta, Chronosphere, Entity. See if they do look to try to get any fight going. I think they're just going to get chased out here. Omar, he wants more.
And with that, they will get the Rubik again, so that's Kataomi down for a full minute. Off the back of that buyback. Introduced prior to that.
Omar is playing so well. Honestly, this is some ridiculous play from the clock.
So I know we can sometimes get the hook shot accuracy. I wonder if we can do that for this one, because it feels like he's barely missing them.
And I like his itemization, too. He just went straight Ghost Scepter. So he hook shots in and then just pops Ghost Scepter on top of the TA, and they can't actually commit onto him. Ooh. You jinxed him.
I did.
Right onto a
That would have been a pretty good one, but indeed. Went for the angle, but creeps were in the way.
You can just see still, though.
Apparently it's only 50%. Well, I'll tell you what, the 4 that he's hit have been absolute bangers.
They have been. Even that last one. Although it got a couple people killed, it forced a lot of buybacks. And there we go. The Halberd's done. If he had it last fight, he probably survives. Even through all that silence and whatnot.
Definitely. So. It would have been able to live long enough.
And they go for the blink on the Darkseer. So, like we were saying, it's so many different forms of initiation that allows Kaori, the Silencer, to get global off. So I do like that they've gone for this type of itemization here. And yeah, they're smoking. Just keep looking to set the pace. Don't let Entity sit back and farm. And they saw Watson for a second here. Omar.
How long's till a hook shot?
8 seconds.
He's gonna have a shot at it. They hit with the scan. They know he's still around.
Omar knows something's up. The rocket. It's right on him.
Gets the vision.
No
and
way.
He gets the angle. He's in. Is there follow-up in time? They've got the global. And Rolling Thunder is coming across for Noob. Omar does it again.
Wow. MVP right now. Him and Noob kind of crushing it so far. 8-1 on the Pango. Omar 5-4 and 10. Beautiful plays.
He's just making this game so hard for Watson to play.
Watson's like, guys, I'm recovering a little bit. And they just find him immediately in the jungle right afterwards. The net worth disparity between the Void and that Terrorblade continues to grow. And TB, as we mentioned, playing versus the Beastmaster, if he's ever able to get the reflection on this Beast, it's super potent. When you're playing versus Max Inner Beast, the Helm of the Overlord, you're just getting all these auras to buff him up. Look, again, look at top. They're already setting up. It's so fast the way they're playing. Omar the Menace.
Still a few seconds until the hook shot, so this time might be hard to have it back up in time.
Watson is
there now if he wants to try. They have got that ward. No, the Storm is still hovering around, but they'll know that that's because Entity are setting up to fight back themselves. Kaori will get left to die. Jump out for Omar as well. Ooredoo, they have any option to turn this one? Looks like they'll just let Omar suffer on his own hit.
Does he hook shot out?
And he does. And he will get away. Noob. Think about sliding back in, but as I say, Entity, they've got the numbers up here. So Ooredoo, they won't jump head first into this fight.
Entity is getting closer and closer to these BKBs that will allow them to fight. They should actually have a pretty good triple timing on BKB that could stop a lot of that aggression that is coming up from Ooredoo to deal with the Pango, to deal with this pesky Clockwork and Global. Soon a pretty big timing on Entity. Same thing for Ooredoo, though. I think TA2000, he's got his Scotty. So both sides hitting some pretty good timings here. Ooredoo, I still feel like they want to fight, especially since Global's going to be back up in about 8 seconds. This Terrorblade is a menace. 3,000 HP on TA2000.
They're really gearing up to have just these kind of cores that are not guaranteed kills, even if you get them in the Chrono.
And Roche, it's up.
I mean, they have Chrono up, so I'm sure Entity this time round, they'll want to have something to say about this.
But they don't have those BKBs yet. They don't have BKB on Void. They don't have BKB on the TA. This is not easy for them to really enter just yet. They're very close to it. It's a tough decision to make for Entity.
And I think Ooredoo, they're being a bit cautious about how they commit for it, because they feel that the fact that Chrono is up does mean that Entity will try.
They force them away, though. They put the ward down and push the ET around. ET is one of those better heroes at stalling this Roche. So they're trying to zone him off of the area. And yeah, Entity, they're trying to farm and finish those BKBs. They're getting closer and closer.
Oh.
Oops.
Unfortunate hook shot there into the back of a teammate.
They're getting ready for this Roche, though. They're taking outposts, so buybacks. Gotta look to see how many of those are up on the side of Ooredoo as well. How's the BKBs? Okay, Stormstormer's got it, Watson got it, and I think Toby, he also has it. So triple BKB, Entity,
I mean, they gotta
go.
They gotta go, and they will. The smoke is there. Entity heading over to the Roche pit. Good potential for a steal.
They see Kaori also, all the way in the front. They have multiple vision aspects. Toby.
A noob. He's going to be able to start the fight, getting straight on top of the Beastmaster. Toby pops the BKB. He'll have to use the Roar to get the speed boost to run, but the wall's going to get dropped down.
Oh, God.
The illusions are there, and they take him out. No Beastmaster.
He didn't BKB early. He waited quite a long time. He gets hit from the initial stun, and then he's just dead.
I guess didn't quite expect them to be that prepared to jump him as he was playing under their vision. But Noob straight in. And see the rest of Entity. They're trying to wrap around for the backlines, but this is 4 versus 5.
TA2000, he still has meta.
Vacuum won't be in time. Katsuomi's not getting out. Tries to TP away, but the damage is done. And Entity now 3 versus 5. It's very dangerous for them to continue to poke Ooredoo as they are.
They're so split up. Fishman, he's in trouble.
Stomp's going to be stepped off to the side. We'll try for a TP, but again, it's not going to work. I mean, things really crumbled there for Entity after losing Toby as the Beastmaster. They really wanted to go for that wraparound and try and catch someone by surprise, but that's just not going to work against Ooredoo at this state of the game.
They didn't even have to. They still have global. Like, the way that they played that fight on Ooredoo was so clean, playing around their vision, keeping their ward alive. Toby, he has to get the instant BKB. You can't let yourself get stunned from the Pango if you want to try to take that fight like this. Yeah, he gets brought down, and now it's a huge lead for Ooredoo.
Yeah, I mean, that hurts, because that was sort of that opportunity, right, for Entity. They did get their BKBs
they did.
Just in time to be able to look for that fight before Roche went down another time this game, but they couldn't execute it.
Yeah, and I love the way that they, they soft commit on the side of Ooredoo. They have meta. They even throw, like, the wall just to clip the Beastmaster for a second, too, and Toby spotted again. I'm watching Omar.
I mean, yeah, if Omar gets in range, he'll go for a hook shot.
Settle for the Ancient. It's good money.
Yeah, not a bad thing to settle for at all.
Nope. Oh. Just kidding. It's an Ancient.
Oh. No.
There we go.
I'll still get it. Plus 250 there for Omar.
TA2000 is just hitting ridiculous levels of farm, though. Scotty was just finished. He's already on his way toward Butterfly. A very valuable Butterfly game, playing versus this Void and TA, who are underfarmed. These evasions are going to be very problematic for them to deal with. And now they're buying Gem. So playing versus Hawk, playing versus TA traps, they're going to have ways to be able to control vision constantly. They're already knocking on front door. Entity, what are you going to do?
They're going to try and get them by surprise again.
It's a good wraparound. Who can they find?
Last time it didn't work out, but this time they do have the 5 of them. Storm's going to try and jump in onto the silencer. The Chrono's there. Catches both Kaori and Wuta. They'll take the silencer out, but on the side of it, Noob just commits him with the BKB. The Swashbuckle takes out the 2 of them. Buybacks there from Fishman. They'll drop a roll onto TA2000, but there's no follow-up damage to threaten this Terrorblaze. TA2000 is more than happy to continue to fight, starting to chase both Watson and Stormstormer out at the back of this fight. As Noob, he just cleans up a second. They try and get in. I mean, it's not a bad Chronosphere at all. You know, it sets up for the couple of kills, but it's just not enough to stop Ooredoo from being able to continue to just come out on top of these fights.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's what Watson has to go for, because honestly,
he's got to get the silencer.
Yeah, if he gets one of these cores, like the Pango or the TB, he doesn't really kill them. They're super tanky, so has to settle for the silencer. And even though it's a great wraparound from Entity, Ooredoo, I think, still very happy with that positioning. Yeah, TA2000 has Butterfly.
29 minutes in, yeah, it's pretty crazy. We'll see that from our partner esportsbet.io. Very much feeling that Ooredoo in good control of this game right now. And yeah, when you see sort of Terrorblade item timings like this, it's hard to feel otherwise.
And how farmed the Pango. I mean, Noob, 10, 1, and 7.
He's just crushing it, isn't he?
I love his itemization is so cool. He's gone for now Blink and a BKB. Oh, well, the Blink, of course, before that, but the BKB, he's got Shard. I really love the way that he's itemized and played this game. Even the treads, something we don't see too often. Super clever stuff. Yeah, just constricting the map now. Entity, no real places to farm, and no Chrono. They can't fight either.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has
Love how confident they're playing. Even the Elven Tunic on this Terrorblade.
Yeah, he just doesn't care.
Nope.
Minute and a half on the Aegis. You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm going to hit your barracks, but what are you going to do? Oh, Wuta. He's trying to see if we get something set up there with a vacuum. Creeps will be coming in again.
Still no Chrono. 30 seconds. Can't fight.
Oh,
nice, man.
Very stylish. He's looking for a Sunder. Hook shot, won't connect.
Oh. Whoopsie.
Yeah, it was going to expire anyway.
Yeah.
About under a minute.
I think they're probably going to back away now at this point. Don't want to risk it. They've gotten quite a lot of reaction, forced everybody back in the base. We see Omar there, spamming the rockets, being super annoying.
And Watson, of course, trying his best at least whilst this push was going in to just get out on the map and find the chance to progress towards his next item. And he's making good, good timing now on catching up and getting this MKB, which of course is going to be very important if he does want to stand any sort of chance of threatening the Terrorblade or the Pango in these Chronospheres.
They both need it, like the TA and him, to deal with all this evasion. It's going to take a long time to farm, especially with the way that OT is keeping the pressure on. Meta's back available. They're controlling the triangle, not letting Entity get any real farm on the map.
Radiant's top tower is under
No
attack.
smoke, of course. This is a point where they don't have an Aegis, and there is Chrono.
They're in.
Going to start things off with the BKBs there immediately. Does mean that the Global Silence can come in afterwards. Watson will drop the Chrono. He's caught the 2 cores, but
he can't hit him.
It's not really doing that much damage there. As TA2000 is more than fine, Watson has to jump back out. Just no chance of threatening the Terrorblade at this point. Barely did a third of his HP.
Noob could be in trouble.
Should be able. Ooh, no, indeed, he can't jump out in time.
He went very aggressive, like super over-aggressive.
Maybe he got a bit too carried away with the fact that the Chrono was used and nobody died immediately. Omar does get cleaned up as well, so Entity able to find a bit of a cleanup there. As, yeah, I think Noob just got a bit ahead of himself there.
He used an aggressive swashbuckle to try to finish off Watson because Watson dropped low, but he was pretty much under tier 4s there and then just gets chased out. So, okay, slightly over-aggressive there from Ooredoo. Gets punished.
And of course, these kind of mistakes is going to give the chance for Entity to close in on their MKBs.
Absolutely.
As, yeah, I mean, Watson is pretty close to having his done. There's just about 500 gold, and MKB will be online on the Void.
Definitely don't want to make maybe like 1 or 2 of those mistakes from Ooredoo, and then this Void might just be fully caught back up. So still have to be careful how they do go for these high ground sieges. Probably want to be playing more around those Roshans, playing a little bit more careful how they dive. Witter, pretty much, I mean, he has the Aghanims done too, so so many ways to create these illusions of either Beastmaster or whoever. Still very strong. And TA2000, he also, now he's like, I mean, he's running out of slots a little bit here. He's going to go for Aghanims himself. But yeah, there's the first MKB. So step 1 for Entity to come back in this game.
Ooredoo for the lead that they have had. Got to continue to be clean with their next moves. I'd say sort of, if they proceed to sort of have 2 more failed attempts at breaking the high ground, this game will start to fall back into favor of Entity. The scalability of the Void and the TA.
With the TB, well, with the Elder Titan versus the TB. And if you look at Fishman's itemization too, this is actually kind of cool. It's normal, your Tranquil, your drums, but he bought Shard. So what you can do with this is, the Chrono's down, you stomp yourself on top of the Terrorblade, and then you provide that aura to be able to actually bring him down. This could work. However, he's likely to just get globaled right when the Chrono does go off, so, I mean, we'll see if it does work, but I can see the idea of what he's looking at.
How long to rush? We'll find out in 25 seconds. That's going to be a very important part.
I like what Toby's doing with his summons as well. Since bottom, there's the racks, of course, taken from range racks. He's just sending them down to keep that lane equilibrium. TA2000 is doing similar. He's just shoving in mid.
Second MKB done.
Look at
Stormer. So both cores, they now do have the potential to hit into both the Pango and the TB.
But look at TA2000's itemization. He's got his Ags finished, and now he's got a locked Aeon Disc. So he knows if they full focus him, he might be able to survive with just the unlock into Sunder play. A lot of really cool itemizations here. It's not, I mean, Aeon Disc more normal versus Void, but this early on a TB. Let's see if it ends up paying off. Entity, they're climbing back into this game.
It's going to be a long Roshan respawn. A couple of minutes still.
I'd say that's kind of fortunate for the side of Entity.
I believe
more time to farm.
I agree, yeah, absolutely. Any more minutes that this sort of game is forced, Entities, they're definitely going to be feeling better than if it was getting, you know, the high ground push was coming in sooner than later. So it gives Entity chance to get these next items, get the next level course for the Void. Very important that Watson can get that 20, because honestly, when he's got the level 20, the bonus attacks being the Chronosphere, and with, of course, the MKB, then there is a real chance that the heroes that were feeling kind of safe before won't be anymore.
Yeah.
If they get chronoed by the Sword.
And getting closer and closer to even like a Scotty, something like that, the amazing item versus a TB carry. They're starting to make it happen, starting to come back into this game. Lanes constantly being forced from Toby. Bottom has double siege and a pretty big wave, so tier 2 bottom might be in trouble on the side of Ooredoo.
Amazing what you'll find.
Noob will make the way down. Things feeling a little scary now, perhaps, for Ooredoo.
Yeah, I think, you know, Ooredoo, they're kind of sitting around here and just hoping that Roshan respawns, but as we can see, it's still going to take a bit of time. So they're sort of just stuck in this position, just waiting and hoping that Entity aren't getting too much out of the map whilst they wait for Roche. But, of course, the truth to it is that Entity, they are closing that gap. They're closing that lead that Ooredoo had.
Absolutely. Yeah, Watson, like you said, very close to being 20.
Yeah, it's the big one.
Noob committing his gold. He has a Basher. I mean, we've got to look at buybacks now soon across the board, because that's going to be the next big thing for this Roche. It looks like most heroes do have it. ET and Darkseer only 100 away. TB and Pango only 300 away. So looks like it could be 10 heroes with buyback around this next Roche fight. Kind of be probably the decider of who wins this game, whoever's able to secure that Roche or the big fight before it. And Watson, there it is. So he's 20.
Obviously, the Chronos, you know, considering the situation he's been forced into, other than that first one that it wasn't his fault, he gets caught by disarm, they've been pretty solid.
Absolutely.
So definitely reason to believe that Watson could come out with some good stuff.
Roche is up. Both teams now are aware of it. Or do they want the fight first? Who are they going to find? Tomi. He's on the front here.
I don't think that Entity's going to expect them coming up at them from this angle. A bit of an unusual angle.
This is a cool wraparound.
Yeah.
Who are they going to find? It's going to be Katomi. Gets the lift.
Off with the initiation there, and Roar is up to put a stop to the Pango. They'll jump in and they'll be able to take Noob down.
Tier 2000.
They can look to go for more. Tier 2000's got to be careful. The global silence is about to come to an end.
The buyback, Noob.
All right, and Entity will respect that. They won't try and go straight on top of them.
But that's... I mean, they've done a pretty good job. It actually was not the meta, so it was just that Terror Wave that was popped. Chrono's still available.
I think they can keep going here, Entity.
Who can they find? If they find this Pango, it's going to be huge. Watch it. He gets him.
Yeah, just drop the Chrono. Chrono's there. They're in onto Noob. That's a dieback.
Oh, boy.
Out for 100 seconds. See Fishman with the stomp. Hold back the Darkseer. Entity. Try and kite the rest of Ooredoo out. All has been dropped. Fishman will attempt to get the stomp off, and he'll manage to do so he can continue to run. Back in the river. See jump forward from Watson. He wants to try and get back in to help Toby, but Toby goes down.
Stormer. He's got to be careful.
He's got any way out this. Watson trying to get into to do something to slow them down, but he knows now that this TA cannot be saved. Despite a dieback from Noob, TA2000 still manages to stand his ground, and Entity, they kind of hang around a bit too long, and now they themselves will have to expend buybacks. Toby and Storm are buying back. They really don't want to let this Roshan go down to sort of the hands of Ooredoo. And Fishman's having to take the time to get back to base. Did live. He's having to go back and refuel before he can join the team again around this area.
The meta's gone. There's a Terror Wave in 15 seconds, but Entity, they're pushing forward.
Watson easing onto Kaori.
The Greaves.
Greaves in the surge just in time. Watson still continues to attempt to chase down the silencer, but won't manage to do so.
Oh my goodness, FPS drop. I mean, there's so many illusions and auras that are going around all over the place.
Now the question is, can Entity start trying to hit the Roche?
Oh,
I
mean,
there's no Pango.
There's no Pango, but there's the constant rockets and harassment. But there's like no real ultimates on the side of Ooredoo. They might be able to start poking it.
I think they get with the Void and the TA. They'll be able to pressure the Roche pretty quickly.
This is scary times here for both sides. It's all going to be about this execution. Fishman, he was able to save the racks because if while all this was happening, bottom racks dropped to what 10% HP.
I mean, so did Fishman. We saw him
he almost died.
Just getting away from like the wall and the illusions.
Yeah, he was very close to being brought down. All these different auras, you always have to remember. It's like these illusions, these reflections, and everything. It replicates it of everyone. So even the natural order in some of these fights is going to be applied to the side of Entity too. But yeah, Terror Wave, 10 seconds, no meta. Did he commit gold? TA2000 still has buyback. Void has buyback. Four have been used. Stormer has to be super careful with how he positions himself, though, on this TA.
True.
If they're on low ground, that's where TA2000 is going to be able to thrive constantly as this TB.
Yeah, and of course, thing to note as well, the outpost in the Dire Jungle is still under Ooredoo's control. Okay,
they've been constantly like going back and forth on it. Okay, Tommy just dies to rockets. The triple rockets from EX. He's even like bringing Toby down kind of low with the illusion chasing him.
I mean, again, another rocket. Now, this will force Entity away from the pit.
Sure will. Terror Wave's back up.
So this is going to be time for Noob to get back in the game.
And now maybe, honestly, maybe Ooredoo can be the ones to go in.
Maybe they can force it. Yeah, TA2000 if he wants to step in. Of course, Stiller has not been forced to have to assemble the Eon Disc. Nope. So not even getting close to being pressured to consider that in the last fight.
And they look like they should be able to get. This is a big one too. Cheese, Refresher,
and the Refresher.
And that Aegis.
Give it to the Terror Blade, or has he kind of already got too many things in his hands?
I think he doesn't have slots for it.
I mean, what about a double global? Would you want one of those coming out and then one after the BKB's popped?
There's too many good ones to know, really. It could even just be the Pango, just so he can BKB early, double halberd, etc. and stuff like that. We'll see.
Splitter. They want to try and get in on the pit. The Splitter comes a little too early, so Ooredoo, they'll still manage to get the kill, and they'll get everything.
He has no slots, though. Come on, guys.
Someone else has got to get in there.
Noob, they'll give him the Refresher shard for now. And TA2000, he's like, I still don't have slots. My treads are on the floor.
Still cheese. Don't forget the cheese. Thank you.
Okay.
I mean, he's got a lot of money. TA2000 can clean up a slot here with the Ags.
I think he actually has to.
Yeah, just get the blessing.
He's committing for the...
He's buying his blink.
He's going for his Swift Blink.
All right, okay. Hey, what did you sell? He sold the boots. Okay.
Sold the boots, yeah. I guess it's like all about positioning for him at this point, too. If he's able to get that high ground, or even, I mean, if there is a cheeky like blink dodge on a Chronosphere, it could be massive.
Is he going to go all in then?
It looks like he is with this Aegis.
Yeah, I guess I mean, with the Aegis and the Eon Disc, it's not a bad shout. It's going to be very difficult to kill him, even if you get him in that Chronosphere. He will manage to survive through it.
And we're seeing more itemization. Omar, another halberd that Entity's going to have to deal with. This Aghanims has been super valuable from this Clockwork, too. These rockets are not only good inside the team fight, but good to deal with the pressure coming out from Toby on the split push.
Sure, I mean, I guess it's going to add up to quite a bit of damage that Omar's actually done this game.
He might be the highest damage done just from rockets. It does tend to happen a lot with these Clockworks.
I guess it adds up, actually. It's true. Yeah. If he keeps hitting them, yeah. You can get some pretty crazy damage numbers.
Next few moments. Super important here. Very scary for the side of Entity now. TA2000, he's confident.
I've got to look to Watson to get in the good chronos, and as I say, he's been on a pretty good streak.
It's just hard. It's very difficult for him to have to... who has he got to pick and choose to go for? Because in the last one, yeah, it felt great for the Pango, but then TA2000's got full control of the fights. All trapped inside the base now, being spotted from these rockets. And he's sending Illusion's bottom to even put some pressure onto the racks. Courier also. Yeah, Watson, he's committed his gold as well, too. We saw the Nullifier purchase, so pretty much no buybacks on the side of Entity. On those cores, at least. We'll help him focus these supports, though, because we've seen these Ghost Scepters be very annoying. And look, I mean, Kaori's got a very optimistic itemization queued up here. He's got the Yules, he's going for that Wind Waker, so the big play versus the Chrono too. Lots of different ways to perhaps save allies if he does. I mean, it's still very far away, but
yeah, I think ideally for Ooredoo, they don't want the game to still be going at that point. They're trying to close this one up.
Rax is falling. The scan. Nice scan from Entity. They know that they're like just sitting outside here. They got to watch out for those initiations.
The Rack's gone. Illusions slowly but successfully doing it from TA2000.
Yeah, and here come the pesky rockets. Omar giving full vision inside the base. And a really good rune spawn is up top, an arcane rune. Entity trapped in the base. Buybacks. About 2 minutes until Noob has his available. They're playing it calmer after doing that little bit of a dive earlier. They're playing very careful on the side of Ooredoo.
Arcane Reservoir.
I like Noob. He takes the ascetic cap, knows that it's also all about him surviving at this point too. All these defensive, small neutral items are important. Positioning for TA2000 is key, hanging on to Ninja Gear.
Yeah, super nice. Kind of between that and the blink capabilities,
yeah.
It's very difficult for Watson to ever get the jump onto TA2000 in these fights.
He just pops meta. He's just in.
I mean, they've got, they just want to try and force Entity's response. You know, what's the call from Entity here?
40 seconds on Aegis. He just wants to get some type of aggressive play. Entity smoked. 30 seconds on Aegis. 50 seconds buyback for Noob. Tommy does get some sneaky vision down.
Precious bounty.
But still trapped in the base. How are these couriers looking? How long on Stormstormer's courier? 40 seconds. Because Stormstormer's hanging on to a ton of gold at the moment. But Aegis, 5 seconds. It's going to get reclaimed. Let's see what TA2000 looks to do next with his item build. Since now he can actually fill up that slot and soon to eat his Aghanims as well too. He'll probably wait to see, like, I mean, maybe he sees Stormstormer's quarterstaff, but okay, he's actually just going to go for the break.
Again, just sort of, and also just,
positioning.
Late game invis.
Yeah,
it's can be really nice. Yeah, between the invis, the blink, the smoke from the ninja gear. Yeah, good luck trying to find this Terrorblade at start the fight. He's going to be very, very sneaky. And
even like the potential of, let's say, it does get to a point where the Void's 25, they'll have a break for the backtrack too, so. Yeah, cool itemization coming out.
Wait, am I crazy? When did he sell the Xeon disc? That was a while ago.
Yeah, he sold it a while back.
Yeah.
Which is when he sold the treads, I guess, around that timing or something like that.
Because I wonder if he'll consider, like, you feel at this point it's fine to play without that, or do you think if the game goes on, he'll like upgrade the Ags and then rebuy the Eon disc?
I think that could happen.
You know
for
what I mean?
Sure. Yeah,
he definitely sold it, right? He didn't put it anywhere.
I was checking back at base and stuff. No, he didn't. He sold it. Buyback. It's back for Noob. Back for the TA as well. Watson, he's also made progress to be able to farm to have buyback too. Tense moments. He's a very big Pango now at this point too. Can look for a Hex. He's got the Hex queued up if he wants to go down that route. Or he can go for like that Abyssal if he wants. And Kaori, he changed. You know, he did have the super greedy Wind Waker.
We'll go for the Wind Waker.
He's going to queue up the Refresher, so.
Yeah, I mean, the Refresher's going to be nice.
Oh, Tia, look at the courier. Stormstormer's courier. It's going the very long route into the enemy jungle. He's trying to find a way to get his butterfly.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
They're covering the area.
Quite the diversion. Yeah, it should be fine. I don't think there's any chance anyone can catch on to the route that this courier is taking now.
I mean, TA2000, look, he's smoked over this area. Stormstormer's got it. So that's a pretty big deal. Stormstormer also hitting level 25.
Sure.
Now has his own evasion to perhaps be able to survive in the fights too. This could be a difference maker. Good angle that they were able to get outside the base, even though they're under this much pressure at the moment.
Now they managed to slow down the game well, Entity, and they have got to that point now that kind of was talked about during the draft. It's the stage of the game where their lineup, it feels pretty good. The fights are not easy for Ooredoo. Definite chance for Entity to take these late game team fights.
It's all execution now for both sides. Who are they going to catch with Chronos? Are there going to be buybacks immediately after Chronos? Is it going to be bait plays from Ooredoo to bait those Chronos and stuff like that? 3 seconds. Let's find out this Roche. It's instant. Literally not even 1 second.
All right. Well, Ooredoo will definitely consider going for this one, but I mean, I guess they want to get a kill before they do it.
They're controlling the ward area.
It's difficult.
And they have creeps pushing down bottom too. Fishman, he's going to step up. He's got to be careful how he does this, though.
Oh, they want to go. Noob's in. The roar will be there to hold back Noob. They turn with the physical damage. Noob's going to get the cheese off. Because pretty much full HP. The 3-man vacuum wall drop down, and that's going to force Fishman to have to buy back immediately. Watson, he's in with the Chrono. He's caught the Terror Blade. Does he have the damage?
He does not.
He's got to bail out at this one. He's not got enough to threaten Tier 2000. He gets caught by the swashbuckle bash of Noob. That's him going out. He'll have to consider buying back here, maybe, Watson. He's out for 80. Stormstormer's already bought back for this one. He's now having to run, though, Stormstormer. Hookshot's going to be back up in a few seconds as he's hiding in the trees. Muta, see if we can find him. He gets him with the vacuum.
He's got the punch.
He's managed to drag him back. They'll force Stormstormer up to the high ground. Just in time, as that will allow Stormstormer to walk away there. Good save from Kataomi, making sure the Stormstormer can live. And of course, that was his buyback. They need to keep this TA alive to have a chance of holding back Ooredoo. But as it is, Ooredoo, they're still coming in with the push. Watson's still down for 50 seconds.
And this is, I believe that's the long meta. I think he popped it as soon as he had 25, so it's that plus 20 seconds.
They're trying to slow them down here, but the barracks are falling.
That was such a cool initiation from them. It's Stormstormer.
They get in with the Heck. They're straight in on top of the T8. Force there from Kataomi again, breaking Stormstormer back to safety. Jump forward. Stolen hookshot from Kataomi. It's in onto Wooster. Allows them to take the Darkseer down.
Oh, stolen wall, but actually whiffs. That could have been a pretty big deal.
They'll push them back. The damage, of course, was done. The top rack's taken. Still have that middle melee racks up at the moment. So one final building between them and the Megas.
Chronosphere, still on cooldown, 50 seconds. Initiation from Noob in this last fight, even though the fight lasts a long time. Super cool. I love this. Is ascetic cap. I think it was everything for him, right? He gets like the break of that roar.
See, Omar get in. He's been able to sort of put Toby out to the side here with the cogs. Watson plus the BKB, but he's caught by the bash.
They're on Watson.
They're on top of him. The silencer there as well with the follow-up global after the BKB. There's nowhere for him to jump. He can't jump. He's out for 2 minutes. Ooredoo, they're absolutely going to try and push on for more now that there's no void.
And Stormstormer, he's alone.
He is completely surrounded. Stormstormer's gone. Both cores dead without buyback. Ooredoo, they found the way to close the game up. GG is called.
Wow.
Ooredoo will shut down this game 1.
That was some beautiful, beautiful execution really from them across the board. They made, what, 1 or 2 of these mistakes that almost allowed Entity to come back.